You'll be warned that doing so is disruptive behavior. We want to make sure everybody that we have time for has a chance to comment. With a second warning, you'll be removed from the meeting. So those are the rules of the road. And now we can move into the meeting. Let's start recording. And Janet, can you do a roll call of who is present?
Yes, I'll start that roll call. Leslie Hammond is here. I'll just go ahead and let you know who I have, and then we'll ask if folks aren't here. Steve Mullinex is on here. Sam Pearson. Do we have Teddy O on the call yet?
Let me check.
And we have Katie Daly with Arnold Creek. We have Bruce Kester with Ash Creek. Richard Frymark. Richard, are you here representing Bridal Mile?
Yes, it's a thumbs up.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Fran Laird is on the line with Collins View. Tony Hansen with Crestwood. Is George Abranos here?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, George. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Kendall KIC is with us. Tatiana Lipschitz. Is Tatiana with Hillsdale on the call?
She's coming a little bit later. I don't see her yet.
Okay. Claire Carter. Is Claire joined us?
Yes, I saw her on the list.
You missed Jackie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jackie Phillips. I saw Jackie's here. Claire Carter is on the list, okay. Markham, is Eric Labaki on the call?
No.
No.
Okay. And Marshall Park, I see Michael Charles. Is Michelle Campbell or Michael, are you representing?
Yeah, Mike Charles, I'm here. It won't be Michelle, just me.
Thank you. And I saw Maria T. Mai. Shannon Hiller Webb is on the call with South Burlingame. Anna Friedhoff. Is Anna on the call?
I haven't seen her yet on the list.
Okay. And we have Charlie Van Rossen is on the call. West Portland Park, Debbie Hall.
Debbie Hall's not here. Javier Moncada will be in her representative.
Great, thank you, Javier.
Okay.
I need to make a note. Equity Inclusion, dianevictoria is on the call. Gary Rundy with Land Use. Is Leslie Pohl with Parks on the call?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim Silverman with Safety is on the call. Patty McMahon.
I'm here plus Sandy.
Great, okay. I've got Sandy as a guest and you as the rep, Patty. Catherine Christensen with Transportation. Is Catherine on the call?
I didn't see her. Let me look while you're going to other folks.
Okay. Murphy Terrell with Watershed is on the call, and is Don Bach on the call?
I don't see Don either yet. And I don't see Catherine. I don't see Catherine.
Okay, and then we have a number of guests. Leslie, do you want to go ahead?
Pardon me, Mike Linman's here. Sorry, I was a little late.
Oh, okay. So Mike, you'll be representing Parks or Leslie?
Parks, yes.
Okay,
great. Oh, great. Okay. Welcome, Mike.
Great, and then Leslie, you want to have guests introduce themselves? Or should we just read through the list?
Let's just read through the list if that's possible.
Okay, I have Lee Bueller, Laura Campos, Ben Denora, Carol Porto, Nancy Matson. There's a Liz without a last, I don't see a last name. Liz, could you let us know your last name?
That's Liz Morantz from Arnold Creek, our representative for land use.
Great, thank you. Courtney Vaughn is on the call. Sandy Regnetti, Will Fuller, Robert Lennox. So Eric Wilhelm on the, is Eric still on this?
Yeah, I'm on the board of Hillsdale Neighborhood.
Great, thanks, Eric. And then I think, do we have anyone who I haven't called?
Marianne Fitzgerald.
Marianne, great.
And I just want to make sure if you're an Ash Creek resident, Taylor sent out the wrong link. So he sent a correction last night. And if you go back to your emails, you can get the right link. So I just wanted to make sure no one is here thinking they're in the Ashpig meeting.
We hope you're not.
I have a
All right.
Joanna Ponce, is that right? Ponce, Joanna Ponce is on the call.
Yes, I see that
Yes.
name.
Okay,
Okay, if there's anybody we've missed, I guess you can text me or text Sylvia and we'll add you in. Welcome, everybody. On the agenda, we have a couple of things to consider. And instead of approving the agenda as written, I would like to suggest that we add a item to the agenda, which is the appointment of a second grievance committee. We've had a grievance from one of the neighbors about the waiver for parks fees for the Native American group. And we've got volunteers for that grievance committee. So does anybody object to putting this item on our agenda for tonight in addition to what we have? Okay, it looks like it'll be on the agenda. Thank you very much, because we're under a time deadline to appoint grievance committees and we couldn't really wait until the 16th. All right, the minutes from our last meeting are not ready yet, but they'll be sent out before the meeting on the 16th, so you'll have a chance to review them then.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Would somebody like to say?
That is to say a motion to approve the agenda with the addendum. I say yes.
Are we recording yet?
Yes.
Yes, we are recording. All right, we have a motion and I think Murphy seconded the amended agenda. Are there any opposed to amending the agenda and approving it at this time? Please raise your blue hands if you oppose it. All right, Katie's opposing it. I don't have any other opposals, so.
I was not opposing it, Leslie. I had a question. My hand has been up.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. Katie, what's your question?
Where are you going to?
Are you there?
Yes, sorry. Where are you going to?
If you're asking where the a grievance appointment would be, it's going to be after the first vice president's report. Usually we have a first vice president report and then we have a second vice president report on your agenda. It's not there, but that's where we'll address the new agenda item. All right, let's move on to the executive officer reports.
Leslie, do you want to take a vote on that, or just a voice approval?
Okay, I believe everybody's in favor of it. Katie, are you in favor of amending the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, we have a unanimous approval of the amended agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the president's report. Despite COVID and the recent attempts to discredit our financial management of our association and various other challenges, it's the Christmas season. So I want to remind all of you to think about people in the neighborhood that might be less fortunate than you and think of ways that you can make the holidays happier for them. We are going to move into executive session because we're going to be talking about personnel issues. But before we go there, we're going to have our first vice president's report and our second vice president's report. But I'm going to say to all of you who are present tonight, I'm extremely proud to know all of you and to see the kind of support that you have given SWNI, both in terms of your donations and the letters that you're writing to City Council. So I just want you to know I feel extremely happy and gifted to get to know all of you in this neighborhood. We're going to save the information about donations until we go into executive session. I will report after the executive session what we've gotten in the way of donations so that our reporters can report that should they choose to. So that information will be available at that time. Steve, do you want to go ahead with an update on the legal committee?
Okay. Yeah, so the legal advisory committee is pretty much done with the audit. If there happen to be any follow-up items that might arise, we'll still want to be handling those. The lawsuit filed against SWNI by Shannon Hiller-Webb and Marie Tyval is the outstanding item of business. Simon Wang continues as SWNI's attorney to defend us in that case. Simon filed a response to the complaint on November 20th. That proceedings of that complaint will unfold as determined by the legal process. And I don't expect that it will be happening terribly quickly. Okay, so that's an update on legal. Also, I would like to invite, I would even say challenge, all of you who want to support SWNI to get our funding restored, to write emails or letters to the city council. Okay, and to do it pretty quickly. It's really good if those have a personal element, why it is that you in particular support SWNI. What have they done? What is your experience? What SWNI has done to support your neighborhood association, your nonprofit, etc. Okay, there are instructions for how to do that in the SWNI News that was published on, I believe, Saturday evening. And many of you have probably gotten emails from me as well that gives detailed instructions on exactly how to write that. And please follow those instructions. It'll make it much easier to get the message through to the city council. And the reason I say I'm challenging you, okay, because it is a challenge. There are people who oppose SWNI's getting our funding restored. So the people who support it are going to have to speak up. If that happens, then we have a better chance.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to our second vice president, which is Sam. Sam, would you like to discuss the grievance, and do you have a motion for us?
Yes. On November 18th, we received our second grievance. Following the rules and bylaws, we have 14 days. Today is day 12. Day 14 will be Wednesday, December 2nd, in which to appoint a grievance dispute resolution committee. Last time we had 5 people who volunteered. One person from that volunteer group has agreed to come to the second grievance, and that was Michael Kaplan. Janet Hawkins has volunteered, as has Marie Time. So at this time, I would ask if there's anybody out of the group who would like to be on the grievance committee to speak now. Hearing no one, I would make a motion that we accept Marie Time.
Patty
Michael
McMahon.
Kaplan.
Patty
I
McMahon.
see that. Just a second. Let's let Sam finish. I'll come back to you, Patty.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sam.
Marie Time, Michael Kaplan, and Janet Hawkins be our dispute resolution committee on the grievance with Pat Cashman.
Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay, Steve seconded. Now, Patty, I see your hands up. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I just had a question. Do you need more than 3 people? Do you need more volunteers?
No, 3 is fine.
Okay, that's my
Three is
question.
fine.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments, discussion?
Is this Marie person the same one who's lied about SWNI?
No.
Her name is Maria Taimai, and she's the chair at Multnomah Neighborhood Association.
Okay, thank you.
Not the same at all.
Good.
No, I know it's confusing, Marie and Maria.
Right.
I have a question.
Do you have your hand up?
How do you do the hand up thing?
Okay, let's teach whoever's asking this question how to put their hand up.
Sorry.
It's under ... on your screen or more. It says something called raise your hand.
Sorry, it'll go to more or the dots, and it'll say participants, and at the bottom of the participants popping up, you'll see raise your hand.
And this is Dianevictoria, so she has a question.
All right, Diane, what's your question?
I'm so sorry. I'm not very good at this thing. I was just curious. I don't know what the second grievance was. I think I heard what the first one was at a previous meeting, but I haven't heard what the second grievance is.
Sam, do you want to share the grievance?
The grievance was filed by a person in our district who,
I'll say it. So Patrick filed a grievance. He feels that the motion to ask City Council to waive the fees for the Native American organizations to use parks is discriminatory, that it gives special privilege to one group. And
So that's
the grievance.
That's the grievance, and the grievance committee will see what the grievant has put in writing, and we'll go from there. And that's the purpose of the grievance committee, is to resolve that issue.
Thank you.
Okay. You bet. All right, will you call the roll, Janet, please?
Yes, this is the motion to form a dispute resolution committee consisting of Maria T. Mai, Janet Hawkins, and Michael Kaplan. And Steve Mullinex, are you in favor of the committee?
Yes.
And Sam Pearson?
yes.
Hi, Janet. It's Tatiana.
Oh, hi, Tatiana. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm joining late.
Oh, no worries. And Teddy O?
He's here.
Yeah, I heard his yes. I'm one of the appointees, so I'll abstain. Katie
What
Daly?
committee are we talking about?
We're forming a dispute resolution committee to handle the second grievance filed with SWNI in regard to our vote on the parks fee waiver for Native Americans.
Okay, thank you.
And Tatiana, the committee would be Michael Kaplan, myself, and Maria T. Mai.
I'm in favor of it.
Okay, I'll work my way through the list here. Katie Daly?
Yes.
Bruce Kester?
Bruce, are you here?
Try. Okay, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Freimark for Bridal Mile?
Yes.
Thank you. Fran Laird?
Yes.
Tony Hansen?
Yes.
George Branos?
Yes.
And Kendall KIC? Do we have Kendall?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Tatiana, it sounds like you were a yes on this.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Jackie Phillips?
Yes.
And Claire Carter?
Yes.
Okay. And Mike Charles?
Yes.
And Maria Timai?
I should abstain since I'm on the committee, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think, thanks. Thank you. Shannon Hiller Webb?
Yes.
And let's see, we don't have Anna Friedhoff. Is that right? As Anna hasn't joined
Right.
us?
I haven't seen her join us yet, but Dawn's here.
Okay. Charlie Van Rossen
Yes.
and Javier Moncada.
Javier,
Yes.
thank you.
Dianevictoria
Yes.
and Gary Rundy
Yes.
and Mike Linman
Yes.
Yes.
and great, thanks. Kim Silverman.
Yes.
Okay, Patty McMahon
Yes.
and Catherine Christensen. Has Catherine joined us yet?
I don't see her.
Okay. And Murphy Terrell
Yes.
and Don Bach.
Yes.
Okay, great. Sylvia and I will count and we'll be back with you in just a second.
All right. While they're counting, we're going to move into executive session. We have both personnel matters and legal matters to discuss. So those of you who are guests, unfortunately, you won't be able to come into that meeting, but if there are any motions that come out of that meeting, you'll hear it when we return to regular session. Steve, do you want to look at who should be admitted to the executive session?
Someone will need to make me a host or co-host.
I did make you the host.
Oh, okay. All right. Lee Bueller is.
He needs to be in this session because he's presenting on the numbers.
I see. Okay.
Legal committee.
George Ranos will stay. Janet Hawkins will stay. Leslie Hammond will stay. Southwest Neighborhoods, that's Sylvia, I assume.
Yes.
And Mike Linman, does he
Yes.
stay? Okay. Sam Pearson will stay. And the 3914 is Tony and will stay. Bruce K will stay. Carol, who's Carol?
Carol Porter goes to the waiting. Is a gift.
Okay, okay. Charlie Van Rossen will stay. Claire Carter will stay. Courtney Vaughn will stay. Dianevictoria will stay. Don Bach will stay. Eric Wilhelm will stay. Yes.
No,
He's not here
He's a
tonight.
gift.
He's on the participants list.
I'm not on the SWNI board though. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
We'll put you in the waiting room, Eric.
okay. I'll see you.
I'm
in a
going
bit.
to try to do that. As he moved around while I was.
After Don Bach now. There you go.
I did it.
Thank you. Okay, Don Bach. Fran Laird will stay. Gary Runny will stay. Jackie will stay. Javier will stay, right? Katie will
Right.
stay. Kendall KIC will stay. Kim Silverman will stay. Laura,
She must go to the waiting room.
Yes.
okay. And, oh, did I put the wrong person in the waiting room? I hope not. Okay, I have to look. Leslie Polcosbo.
She's a representative.
No, Mike's here is Parks.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
I'm gonna,
And Leslie would go to the waiting room.
Leslie
You
is,
put Kim Silverman in the waiting room, but she should.
that's okay.
Okay,
that's
I'm
fine.
gonna admit it.
You're gonna bring her back in, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Sorry
all
about that error.
Rob Lennox goes in the waiting room.
Wait, Liz?
Liz goes in the waiting room.
Okay, Liz goes in the waiting room. Maria Timai stays here with us. Mike Charles
Yes.
stays.
Yes.
Yes.
Murphy Terrell stays. Nancy Matson
Is a guest.
is a guest. Okay, going in the waiting room, Nancy. Richard Frymark will stay. Robert Lennox will go in the waiting room. Sandy Ragnetti is going to the waiting room, right?
Yes, she's a guest.
Okay, Shannon is staying. Tatiana is staying. Teddy is staying. Will Fuller is
a guest.
Is a guest, okay. Bye, see you later. Will, okay, and that's everyone, I believe.
So Shannon will stay until the discussion about the lawsuit.
Okay.
Right. And then she'll be in the waiting room. That's correct. Okay, we're going to talk about cash flows and personnel. Normally, cash flows we could talk about in a
Excuse me,
broader meeting,
Point
but
of order, we should not be recording this, I don't believe.
that's true. You can unrecord. But because the this meeting is about whether we.
Steve, you have to, there you go.
It's on. It's on. I'm sorry, Don, go ahead.
So basically, the goal would be to have 60% employment. Use vacation to the fullest extent employees are willing and able to do so to make that 60%. Now that's going to take some analysis on the part of Sylvia to figure out what that numbers is, and then looking at trying to do the same thing maybe in the first 2 weeks of January to liquidate whatever vacation liabilities we have to give us. I don't know how this employment thing works. It's weekly basis, I assume. Maybe we can get 2 more weeks in January covered, or further even with more contributions. The point being, let's use the vacation, which is a liability on our balance sheet presently, as an asset moving forward in solving this, hours time for the employees to get them to the 60%. Is that, you follow that, Jackie?
So Jackie, do you have a question, thoughts for him?
I think I follow that. That's a difficult motion.
So simply we just add, here's the motion I would say is we will move people to 60% and using vacation as much as possible, period.
Okay. Okay.
As part of the compensation.
Okay. Thank you. I have it.
All right. And we have another, before we start this motion, Janet, you have a comment?
Yes, yeah. We can't mandate that employees take vacation. We can only encourage, and that encouragement has happened. And so staff have definitely been compliant with that. So I think that could be, an added content to the motion.
Okay.
Jackie, would you like me to read the motion with Don's amendment?
Yeah, but
let's give her a moment to redo the motion as she chooses. And I'm going to take one more question, and then we'll do a motion, a second, and then we'll have further comments. George, would you like to ask a question or comment?
A question. This is, you're still talking in terms of a kind of starvation situation. When do you expect that there would be a vote by the council that would give us relief? Or when would you expect would it be the new council or this present council that will do that?
That's the $64 million question. And Sylvia and I have slightly different answers, but I'll let Sylvia go first.
So we don't know is the answer. There is an effort to get that before council in December, and there's an equal effort to move it to the first council session in January, which would be January 6th. So we don't know.
When does the new board come in?
The new board is the current commissioners that are leave on December 31st, and the new commissioners will be sworn in either on January 2nd or 3rd. And then the first council hearing will be January 6th. That would be there. That would be there.
Okay, so now we'll go back to Jackie and see where your motion might be.
Let me go ahead and read my motion. Janet, you can fix it if I've messed it up. I move that we increase the payroll for employees of SWNI to 60% in December in order to meet the work share threshold, using vacation time to the extent employees are willing to reach that 60%.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Is that Don, Sam?
Sam.
Okay, Sam seconded. Okay, now we're open for discussion. And I'm going to give everybody, shoot.
And it might have a cleaner wording, Leslie.
Yeah, let me make a stab at that. Jackie moved that payroll be increased to 60% for December 2020, encouraging staff to use vacation time as much as possible to meet the Workshare Oregon threshold.
Let's say that that we're increasing payroll to meet the threshold, not the.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so payroll will be increased to 60% in December 2020 to meet the Workshare Oregon threshold. Employees will be encouraged to use vacation as much as possible.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. And we've had a lot of comments. Does anybody feel like they wish to comment further on this before we take the motion, before we have a vote? Okay, I don't see anybody. So Janet, will you call the roll call, please?
I've called the roll call and we may have board members who may have left during this time. So Steve Mullinex, are you in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Sam Pearson,
Yes.
Teddy O. Is Teddy with us?
It's Teddy's wife's birthday.
Okay. Okay. Janet is a yes. Katie Daly.
Yes. Are we recording?
Yes.
Bruce Kester.
Yes.
Richard Freimark.
Yes.
Fran Laird. Do we have Fran?
I don't.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, thank you. Tony Hansen,
Yes.
George Branos,
Yes.
Kendall KIC.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Tatiana.
Got it.
Yes.
Tatiana.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, thank you.
Okay. See, we have Jackie Phillips,
Yes.
Claire Carter,
Yes.
and Eric Lavaki has still not joined us. Mike Charles,
Yes.
Maria T. Mai,
Yes.
and Shannon Hiller Webb,
Yes.
and Anna Friedhoff. I don't think Anna has joined us.
She hasn't.
Okay. Charlie Van Rossen,
Yes.
Javier,
Yes.
and Dianevictoria,
Yes.
and Gary Rundy,
Yes.
Mike Linman,
Yes.
Kim Silverman,
Yes.
Patty McMahon,
Yes.
and Catherine Christensen. Is Catherine on the call? I don't
She's
think-
not.
She's not. Murphy Terrell,
I have a question, please. What did you say Teddy voted?
Teddy has left the call.
Okay, good. I thought I must have misheard you. Murphy votes yes.
And Don Buck.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a unanimous vote in
Yeah.
favor of the motion.
Well, this is wonderful.
Thank you all.
All right, we will do the best that we can. We do have a meeting on the 16th. We will have our minutes from the November meeting. We will get another chance to look at financials on December 16th for January, because you've just approved, given the money that we have on hand right now, to pay the staff plus monthly bills at 60%. Not the bills at 60%, they get paid in full, but the staff gets paid at 60%. And I want to thank you all for coming and taking interest, and most especially, we thank you for your letters and for your donations, because they are keeping the doors open this month. We appreciate it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I have a quick question before we do.
All right, Don.
And this is for Sylvia. If the city council voted on day X, how many days does it take the city to cough out a check that we can actually put in the bank?
Well, I think they'd have to make it an emergency, declare the emergency. And
That would take a unanimous vote of the council, wouldn't it?
yeah, so otherwise, 2 weeks probably max, but I've heard
So-
it maybe do in 3. So anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks.
So the point I'm trying to say is if something happened the 1st of January. We're looking at the end of January.
Right,
think we're
that's
looking
exactly right.
Yeah.
Fundraising needs to take that into account.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Don. We have to plan for January as though we get no money whatsoever. We do. Otherwise, we will be forced into a situation which I'm sure nobody wants to go into. Okay, a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is that Steve?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that a motion?
Murphy, second.
All right.
Great. Thank you.
Any other pressing business? I don't see anybody raising their hands. Okay, all in favor? Say aye. Anybody opposed?
Thank you all.
Nobody's opposed.
Curiosity was overwhelming. Thank you so much.
We'll see you on the 16th. Thank you very much. And Bruce, if you want to stay on, I'll try to answer your question.